dear viewers, and welcome back to yet another exciting segment. Today also we have a very special guest with us, and I won't say any more because I do not want to break that surprise. So over to you.
Hi, I'm Hadeel Almutawa and I'm a clinical dietitian specialized in eating disorder, and it's my pleasure to be with girls at this age because I can see their perspective and their health concerns from an age younger than me, and I would love to see like all age ranges, and it's my pleasure honestly, so go ahead with your questions.
Okay, so usually when we go to school, this is not exactly a Ramadan question but a more general question, because children tend to be picky eaters, especially I am, for instance, a very picky eater. So is there any specific way, any trick that we can use to include all kinds of food in a child's meal?
So you mentioned one time to me like that sometimes your lunchbox is filled and it's like foods you don't like sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's true, like sometimes girls at your age or guys at your age are more picky with eating. So there's not specific food that gives you all the requirements you need, all the nutrients you need. If there was, everyone would have done that. Like let's say one food like chicken would give you all the vitamins, minerals, protein, carbs, fat, dairy you need. That's not.
I wish.
Yeah, that's not the case. That would be called the magic ingredients, and everyone in the world would have eaten it. So you should have this packed lunch your mom prepares for you, because that's the only way you'll get all the vitamins, minerals, carbs, protein, fat, nutritious meal you need. But if you are a picky eater, you can choose the things you like, and there's always an alternative. Let's say she gave you nuts and you don't like nuts because for a reason you don't like nuts. It's good fats for you, but there are other good fat sources like avocados, like cheeses, like edamame, like other sources. Let's say she put for you eggs and you don't like eggs, and eggs is a good source of protein for you. There's turkey, there is cottage cheese, there is plant-based protein like chickpeas, falafel, a lot of alternatives of things that will match your likings. And if let's say you're a type of person, I saw this case a lot. This case I've seen in most girls your age. They don't like to eat anything except, let's say, one food, and that's the only thing they'll eat. Like let's say chicken nuggets.
Well,
you don't know anyone who just likes chicken nuggets? It's very common.
Okay, so I do also. We know this. We're thinking about the same person right now.
Okay, so in this case, it's very difficult to push other foods to like fit the nutrient needs. So in this case, it's different than the question you asked me. In your case, you can always switch the foods up. But in this case, where a person only likes chicken nuggets, here you can add some things with like, let's say, you can add to the chicken nuggets vegetables. You can try to change it up, like cut up the chicken and add some vegetables in it, add some cheese in it, and that way you can promote more things within her favorite meal, within her favorite food. So add more sources. I see you have a question. Yes,
so, how about he likes dino nuggets and like he doesn't change them at all, and he just buys them when they're frozen? How could we change this?
I think we have to use some sort of trick to catch it with
No, that's actually very common. That's very common. Like I was telling you, that type of people, they're called like picky eaters, and ARFID, it's like usually avoidant restricting food intake disorder, where like they avoid everything but except the specific food. So with that type of people, I usually use the 6 senses to introduce a new type of food. And through that, what I do is like the first week, I tell them to like, let's say I'll tell them, choose the food you're most likely to accept. Like, let's say, what are you most likely to accept? Let's say, he's gonna say, I'm most likely to accept French fries. I'm like, okay, pick this food, because he usually doesn't have French fries. I'm like, pick this food. We're gonna do the French fries in a very healthy way, less oil, oven baked, with fresh seasoning, with no salt. So first week, what we focus on is for him to smell the food only. Next week, for him to see the potatoes. Third week, for him to taste the potatoes. Fourth week, for him to feel the texture of the potatoes. Fifth week, to him to hear the sound of the potatoes, like while it's getting sliced. That's how to introduce a new food. And the 6th week, for him to finally taste it, but not push it up to his face. Slowly accept it, taste it. He likes it, doesn't like it. If he likes it, we add it to the next day, we add it to the 3rd day, we add it to the 4th day. And that's the way we use to deal with people with picky eating, and especially with the people who only like have avoidant restricting food intake disorder, where over fixate on one group of food, and they're at your age where we need to add different types of food. different variety of food to get all the nutrients they need. We work in that way.
Okay, Hassan, if you're listening,
Yes.
can I ask another question now?
Yes, of course.
You know, in science, I was learning this thing. I was learning that we had something about digestion. So they were telling that animals, they require a longer small intestine because they digest vegetables, which is more complex. They digest grass, cellulose in a sense, which is more complex, while meat is easier. But then we get less proteins, vitamins, whatever from meat. So is it healthier for our body to have vegetables or meat?
Okay, both. Like you can see a lot of vegetarians who have plant-based protein and only protein through non-animal sources, and you can see them living for longer. There's a lot of studies prove that they live for longer. But at the end, sometimes like from meat, let's say from beef, you get iron, you get vitamin B12, you get some nutrients that don't exist in plant-based proteins. So it's like, as I said, it's a variety of everything that gives you the full nutritious meal your body is looking for. And sometimes, let's say, okay, plant-based protein lack some source of iron, you get the iron through supplements. So it's always like the complete image and not just part of the image. So when I give a diet plan to my clients, I make sure it's the complete diet to fit all their nutritious needs, all their dietary requirements, all the things they need. So if they're vegetarians, I'll make sure they don't have an iron deficiency. I'll make sure their iron levels is correct. And if it's not, it's okay. We'll correct it through supplements or correct it through non-heme iron sources. But non-heme iron sources, for instance, is not absorbed in the body as well unless it's with a heme source, and heme sources are usually animal sources. So if they're vegetarian in this case, we can't get as much iron absorption. So sometimes the end result is iron supplements, which is not as bad as him lacking iron or her lacking iron. So we do that, we end up doing it.
Okay,
Well, there's a question that I'm very curious of. You know those pills that when you open them, they're plastic, but like inside there's the like medicine?
Yeah.
How could, like, let's say adults eat them if they're plastic and inside is the medicine?
Actually, this is the coat. It's called the coat, the membrane coat, and this is the coat that helps with the absorption in the body.
So
If we're talking about the same thing, you mean like when the pill is like coated with something and the powder is inside?
Yeah.
That is called the membrane coat, and that's the one that helps with the absorption in your body. And some medicine lose the benefits if it's broken down. If you know, some people can't drink pills, so they broke it down and they put it in their water. The benefits sometimes go because this coat is the thing that helps the medicine come together and helps the absorption in the body. Some are made without the coat and they're already absorbed to not having the coat, and it's made that way. But some need the coat to be absorbed in the body.
So like, what happens to our body when we eat too much junk food?
Okay, different topic. I think we need a different an episode alone for that, and let's do it in the next segment because I think this segment is ending now. Or we can have one quick question and we'll keep the junk food question for a next episode because this I have
a lot of questions.
A lot of comments to put.
Can I go for one now?
Yes, one quick question.
Yeah, so like we were talking about the pills and supplements. Is it healthy for children to have these supplements in case we have a deficiency, or is it suggested that we go for normal food to get the
normal food? Always normal food is absorbed, digested, recognized in the body better than better than supplements, of course. But supplements is there to aid your nutrition, to aid your needs in your body. And you first go with normal food. If with normal food you have any absorption problems, any issues with eating that specific food that will give you that specific nutrient, then you can go for supplements.
So even for children, it's healthy.
Yeah.
You should go always for supplements that children, like for your age approved. There's some not your age approved, some is your age approved. And nowadays we're in a very modern year, very modern age. There's a lot that's supplements that are approved for girls at your age. And but always normal food is a better option, of course, for the absorption reason.
I guess so, yeah. I agree with you.
And this segment is over for today. The junk food question, I didn't forget it. And it's going to be an entire episode. So we'll see you guys in the next segment.